In this problem, I'm going to use the properties of trigonometric functions and some of the identities, the fundamental identities, to find the exact value of this expression. So there's a couple things to think about here. One is you have to remember sine negative pi over 12, it's just a number. There's a specific value to the sine of the angle negative pi over 12. And I'm multiplying that by the cosecant of 25 pi over 12, which again is just a number. So it's just a multiplication problem, and I want to be able to use my identities and my properties of trigonometric functions in order to find the answer without having to use my calculator. A second thing that would be really helpful to remember is that, sine is equal to 1 over cosecant. So I can see right now that that this part of my problem can be rewritten as 1 over sine 25 pi over 12. And I want to be able to see that because now I can see that, again, if I'm going to continue along this train of thought, I'm going to have sine of negative pi over 12, and I'm going to be multiplying that by 1 over sine 25 pi over 12. I can see that somehow here, since I'm going to have a sign in my numerator and a sign in my denominator, there's a possibility that they might end up canceling each other out. But I'm not sure if they will or they won't. But I need to know my fundamental identities to be able to see that that's where this problem is probably heading. The next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to think about this as a unit circle. And ideally what I would like to do is I would like to not have negative pi over 12. I would like to not have negative pi over 12 because I'd rather not have a negative angle. I'd rather be working with my unit circle as in positive angles. And I'd rather not have 25 pi over 12 because that's looking to me as if that angle is going to go all the way around the unit circle one time. So I need to kind of see what are the coterminal angles with these two angles. Well, pi over 12, let's see here. Let's do this on another page. So I want to find out whether what angles these two angles are coterminal with. So I have a unit circle here. I'm going to draw my x-axis, and I'm going to draw my y-axis. And I know here I have 0 and 2 pi, and I go halfway around the circle, I have pi, and I go a quarter of the way around, I have pi over 2, and down at the bottom here I have 3 pi over 2. So if this distance from here all the way around here is pi, and I can see that my denominator is pi over 12, I want to divide that up into 12 pieces. That means I need 6 pieces on each side. I need a lot of pieces here. Okay, so if this is going to be so I know that about here and about here would be my pi over 6s, right? Because this is dividing my unit circle up, my top part, into 6 pieces. But I need 12 pieces. So I'm going to go right in between each of these. And now I have the top part of my unit circle divided up into 12 pieces. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'll divide it first up into 6ths, and then I'll divide it up into 12ths. there's my sixths. And now I'm going to divide each 6 in 2. So I have my 12ths. Sorry, there's a lot of them here. But this is a good way to do it. So let's look at negative pi over 12. That one's not so hard. Negative pi over 12 means I start here at 0. Then I go 1/12 negative. Okay, so this is negative pi over 12, which, if I went all the way around the unit circle, from here over here to pi would be 12 pi over 12, 1 pi. So I'm going to go from 12 pi over 12 all the way here to 0. It's the same thing as 24 pi over 12. So pi over 12 is the same, negative pi over 12 is the same thing as 23 pi over 12. And since I just calculated that, I can also see that 25 pi over 12 is going to be 1 unit, 1 slice past 0. So here, that spot right there is going to be 25 pi over 12. And 25 pi over 12 is coterminal with pi over 12. So I can see here that I have one angle, negative pi over 12, and another angle is pi over 12. Having drawn my picture and figured out which angles were coterminal, I'm going to go back to my equation here, and I'm going to rewrite it a little bit. I'm going to call this sine of negative pi over 12 times 1 over sine of pi over 12. Because I know that 25 pi over 12 is coterminal with pi over 12. Well, the next thing I remember here is that my sine function is an odd function. Odd functions, let's erase this here. Odd functions say that f of negative x is equal to negative f of x. These are odd functions. So looking at my sine function here, I can see that sine negative pi over 12 is equal to negative sine pi over 12. Well, if that's the case, let's rewrite my equation again. I'm going to rewrite my equation, or not my equation, my expression. I'm going to rewrite this expression as negative sine pi over 12 times 1 over sine pi over 12. Let's make this over 1. So now what I have, multiplying across, I have negative sine pi over 12 divided by sine of pi over 12. Well, remember, sine pi over 12 is just a number. So I have, that's the same thing as negative 1 times sine pi over 12 divided by 1 times sine pi over 12. I I will cancel out my sine pi over 12s, and I get the answer of -1.